Hey everyone, and welcome back to Romance Dawn. Today we're diving deep into some serious One Piece lore, a theory so wild it might just blow your minds, and connect our beloved Straw Hats to ancient Hindu mythology. So, like many of you, I was doing a deep dive into Blackbeard's absolutely terrifying Yami Yami no Mi, the dark fruit. And as I was researching, looking up the meaning of Yami, I stumbled upon something fascinating in Hindu mythology: the deities Yama and Yami. Now, for those unfamiliar, Yama is the god of death, justice, and the underworld, often depicted as dark, fearsome, and riding a buffalo. His twin sister Yami is associated with the Yamuna River and life. The myth often speaks of them as the first humans, the progenitors of mankind, much like an Adam and Eve figure in their respective mythos. But there's a poignant story of separation, of Yami pleading with Yama to continue the human race after he wanted to be the soul departed. And that got me thinking, Yami, Yama. And then my mind instantly jumped to the most enigmatic, shadowy figure in the entire One Piece world. Imu, the ruler of the world, hidden in the shadows, whose very existence is a secret. Could there be a connection? What if the Yami Yami no Mi, the power of darkness and void, is directly linked to the concept of Yama, the deity of death and the end? And if so, what does that make Imu? Could Imu be the Yami to a fallen Yama? Or perhaps an entity that embodies the power of both? We know Imu sits on the empty throne, a symbol of power and control over life and death in the One Piece world. Yama, in Hindu belief, judges souls and determines their fate. The parallels are striking. And here's where it gets even more specific. In the Yama and Yami mythology, after Yama's death, Yami was so grief-stricken that her endless tears flooded the world, causing both widespread inundation and fierce fires. The gods, seeing her inconsolable sorrow, created night to help her mourn and bring an end to her relentless weeping. And what do we know about the One Piece world? There was a massive, world-altering flood event linked to the rising sea levels during the Void Century. Could Yami's sorrowful tears literally be an ancient, mythological explanation for such a catastrophe in One Piece lore? Now, if Blackbeard's fruit is the dark fruit, perhaps the equivalent of a Yama power, what if Imu possesses the Earth fruit, or even more specifically, an Earth God fruit? Yami, in some interpretations, is connected to the living world, the fertile Earth, and the continuation of life. Imagine a world where Imu, possessing the ultimate life-giving, Earth-controlling power, stands in opposition to a force of absolute darkness and void, a force that could potentially be embodied by Blackbeard or even a past user of his fruit. And here's the most mind-bending part of the theory. What if Imu is not just like Yami, but is the ancient Yami of the One Piece world? The twin, or sibling, of the very first humans in One Piece history, their own version of Adam and Eve. Think about it. The progenitors of mankind, the first beings, one associated with the dark void and death, Yama Yami Yami no Mi, and the other with the living world and its continuation, Yami Earth God Fruit. It could explain Imu's immense age, their knowledge of the Void Century, and their absolute dominion over the world. They wouldn't just be a ruler, they'd be an origin point. This theory suggests a much grander, mythological scale to the conflict in One Piece. It's not just about devil fruits and pirates, it's about primordial forces, the balance of life and death, creation and destruction, echoing tales told for millennia. Could Luffy and his crew be unknowingly caught in a conflict that dates back to the very dawn of humanity in the One Piece world, a struggle between two ancient, almost divine beings? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Is this a crazy reach, or am I onto something truly mythological? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell piece.